Hi there, my name's Simon Drew, and I'd like to welcome you to the Practical Stoic podcast, where I give you practical Stoic advice for modern times. If you'd like to learn more about Stoicism, or if you want some added inspiration in your day, just go to my website. It's risetothegoodlife.com. If you're interested in transforming your life with Stoic principles, then I also offer one-on-one coaching. To book your first free session, just head to risetothegoodlife.com/coaching and follow the links. But for now, enjoy this episode. Hi there, my name's Simon Drew, and welcome to the Practical Stoic podcast. You know, lately I've been really interested in how Stoicism can affect not only our mental health, but also our physical health. You know, the Stoics don't often talk about exercise and physical health, but that doesn't mean that this philosophy cannot have an incredible impact on the way that we look after our body. So this week I asked you all this question: has Stoicism played a role in improving your physical health? And if so, how? So we had some really great answers, and I'm going to go ahead and read a few of those to you here. And the first answer comes from Andrew, who said, "Stoicism has first and foremost taught me that the key to virtue is to develop good habits. When I reflect on my actions at the end of the evening, I always consider any exercise a good mark on my character for that day." So Andrew, thank you so much for that. I completely agree that one of the core values of Stoicism is this idea that we should be looking to make better habits and better decisions in our life. As we all know, the decisions that we make regarding our health will really create the results that we see tomorrow. So it's good to see that you're thinking about that. And moving on, we had an answer from Laura, who said, "I think the biggest benefit I've noticed so far is that I'm feeling less anxious and stressed and generally more confident. I sleep a little better too. Anxiety and stress take a toll on my physical health, so minimizing it is a relief." So Laura, thank you so much for that answer. I think it's really important what you pointed out there, which is that stress and anxiety can really take a toll on your physical health. So it's really important to really get that under control. And we have a few similar answers coming up, including an answer from Michael, who said, "Stoicism reduced my anxiety to a motivating level, so I was able to stop my bad habits that were deteriorating my health." So Michael, thank you for that answer. And again, we have another similar answer that comes from Daniel, and he said, "Stoicism has helped me physically by taking unnecessary stress off my mind and body. I vividly remember worrying myself to death over the smallest things that were completely out of my control. A perfect example is receiving a negative or pressing email from a client on a Friday afternoon. I would focus on that one negative email all weekend instead of spending therapeutic time with friends and family. I would stew in my negative emotions and what-ifs. With my Stoic compass, I'm much better at letting go of things that are outside of my control. This leads to less stress, less negativity, and a much happier me." So Daniel, thank you so much for that answer. You know, again, this is just a great example of how powerful it can be to reduce the stress and anxiety in your life. And Stoicism really does provide the tools, particularly the dichotomy of control, for really understanding where this stress comes from and how you can manage it. And so moving on, we have an answer from Kai, and he says, "In my 2-hour workout sessions, the last 30 minutes kill me. Then I think about discomfort and how we should practice it as Stoics. That's where I get the results." And so Kai, thank you so much for that answer. I absolutely agree that, you know, one of the best things about Stoicism is it does encourage us to really practice discomfort, because the more discomfort you practice, the stronger you'll become. And working out can become a kind of meditation if you think of it like that. It's, you're really thinking and being mindful in the moment of where you are, what you're doing, the weights that you're lifting, the exercises that you're doing. And you're thinking, every single second of this workout is making me a stronger, better, and a more full person. So I thank you for sharing that. And next we had an answer from Darren, who said, "Stoicism has been helpful, but not just specifically to my health. There are a few different ideas and quotes that I've chained together for improving my health as a part of improving my overall being. For example, Epictetus said, quote, 'It's time to stop being vague. If you wish to be an extraordinary person, if you wish to be wise, then you should explicitly identify the kind of person you aspire to become.' End quote. The dichotomy of control is also helpful because it allows me to understand what about my health I can control and improve. And lastly, there's a quote that I really love that says, "Are you doing everything you could be doing to reach your goals?" Through these principles and quotes, I've realized that I've been complacent, and in order to get better, I must be consistent, even if it isn't convenient, comfortable, or easy. Darren, thank you so much for that answer. I love that quote that you said from Epictetus, where he's telling us to really understand who it is who we want to be, and then to go out and try to be that person. We really need to be so clear on that, and that's a massive part of your health. If you want to be a healthy person, then you need to get really clear on the specifics. What weight do you want to be? What body fat percentage do you want to be? How much exercise do you want to do? What kind of person do you want to be? And then go out there and do what it takes to become that person. It's so important. So thank you again for that answer. And the next response comes from Nelly, who said, "I developed the habit to walk at least 10,000 steps a day, most of them while listening to your podcast on my way to the park. I also go to the gym more often, but not too much, so it's just the perfect balance. Your podcast and Stoicism has motivated me to get my physical as well as my mental fitness back on track." So Nelly, thank you so much for that response. I'm really grateful that this podcast has, been able to help you on your fitness journey and your health journey. So thank you for letting us know, and keep up the good work. And moving on, we had a response from Leo, who said, "Stoicism has improved my physical health in a number of ways. Firstly, Seneca writes that we should practice discomforts regularly in our life, which strengthens you in the tough times. I fast 1 day a week and exercise every day with Seneca's words in mind. Next, one of the Stoic virtues is self-control, and I have incorporated this in my exercise and diet. And finally, mens sana in corpore sano is a Latin phrase usually translated as a healthy mind in a healthy body. I'm not sure if I can attribute this to the Stoics, but I believe that they would have fully embraced that quote." So Leo, I'm really grateful that you mentioned that Latin phrase, because that's something that I absolutely believe in. A healthy mind really is a healthy body. And the other way around, if you have a healthy body, you can have a more healthy mind. It's so important to recognize this. And when you do know this, then, when you're studying, you're also working on your body. And when you're exercising, you're also working on your mind. There is no difference. So I appreciate you bringing that up. And moving on, our second last answer comes from Gunnar, and he says, "In my ongoing study and practice of Stoicism, I find that living according to nature has helped my physical health most of all. I've recently joined a gym and have been practicing temperance more than ever. I always find myself in a better mood, more energetic, and approaching situations with a clear head when I make the effort to live according to nature." So thank you, Gunnar, for that answer. I think that's an important point that you bring up. Nature did not intend for our bodies to be unhealthy. Our bodies have functions that they're supposed to fulfill. And nature didn't want us to be unhealthy beings not being able to perform those basic functions. So it only makes sense that we should at least try to keep our bodies healthy and stay physically active, because now that we're in a modern age where, most of us are sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day, it's so unnatural. It's such an unnatural thing to do. And so now we have to find ways to really get back to that health that we should have if we were living as we had evolved. So it's really interesting to think about. So thank you for that. And our final answer comes from Marina. And she says, "Stoicism has helped my physical health in that now I just aim at being better than I was yesterday. It's made life easier, decisions are more bite-sized, and I'm seeing everything as a choice. Do I want to exercise today? Yes or no? Do I want to eat this pastry just because it's free at work? Yes or no? I use Stoic philosophy to make the choices that make me better than yesterday. I'm eating healthier and I'm getting more toned without making everything a huge deal." So Marina, thank you so much for that answer. I think this is a really important thing that you said at the end there. You're getting toned and you're becoming healthier without making everything a big deal. The choices that we make are really the stepping stones to a healthier body and a healthier lifestyle. And it doesn't need to be big choices. It can be small, simple decisions that just lead you a little bit closer to being, as you say, better than you were yesterday. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And so I want to thank all of you who contributed to this episode, and I want to point out a few themes that I'm seeing here. Firstly, I'm hearing that a lot of people are seeing massive improvements in their stress and anxiety levels, and this is huge. Excess stress and anxiety really will take a toll on your well-being, and it's really awesome to see that so many people are using Stoicism to become calmer in their life. And another theme that I'm seeing is that Stoicism is helping people to make better choices. And, that's really all that health is. It's just better choices compounded over time. The health and wellness choices that you make today really will affect your body and your physical health tomorrow. So it's great that so many people are thinking about how Stoicism can help them to make better choices for their health. And once again, I want to thank all of those who contributed, and I'll talk to you on Friday. But until then, I hope that this episode has helped you on your rise to the good life. Ciao. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Practical Stoic Podcast. I hope that you've gotten a lot of value out of it, and I hope that it helps you to live a better life. If you have enjoyed the podcast, then don't forget to subscribe so that you'll be the first to know when there are new episodes. If you really love the podcast, then I would appreciate a positive review, whether that's on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever else you listen. Don't forget that if you're interested in one-on-one Stoic coaching, then you can head to risetothegoodlife.com/coaching to book your first free session today.